Welcome to tonight's workshop where I'm going to be talking to you about the two main obstacles to entering a meditative state. Let me turn this down a little bit and make sure y'all can hear me okay. I'm going to go ahead and, as always, put my caption down here and I'm going to pin it. I don't have that many housekeeping items tonight, so I'm going to just go ahead and get it rolling. If you are watching this live or on the replay, welcome. Go ahead and grab your pens, papers, notebooks, tablets, recording devices, whatever you are going to need. For the past month and a half, I have been talking to you all about the practice of mindfulness meditation, hoping to inspire you to really adopt this practice and bring it into your life. It is so beneficial regarding stress relief, relaxation. It helps you achieve attentional balance. It helps to sharpen your mind, your focus, your memory. And it has so many other amazing benefits. I believe that everyone really should have a meditation practice. Meditation is a very general term. So once again, the type of meditation that I'm talking about is mindfulness meditation. That is my specialty. Let me go ahead and get it rolling with housekeeping. Hello, Miss Sandra. Welcome. Housekeeping item number one is always going to be interaction. As I'm going through the content and the information today, make sure to engage and interact with me. If you have any questions, comments, experiences, drop those in the comment section. Whether you are watching live or on the replay, I read everything and I respond to everything because I want to make sure that anybody who comes to any of my workshops that you get exactly what you're looking for, okay? Second housekeeping item is going to be sharing is caring. Just like you're trying to grow, I'm trying to grow. So go ahead and invite a friend or two on in here. If you are live, if you are here live, please go ahead and tap that arrow in the lower right hand corner of your screen and invite 2 or 3 of your friends in here. And as a matter of fact, I am going to do the same. I'm going to invite some of my friends on in here. So I would ask you to go ahead and do that. Give me just a moment. That's what I'm doing, giving you time to grab whatever it is that you need and giving you time to invite someone on in here as well. Boom. That's all I'm going to do. Let's see. Third housekeeping item. You just saw me pin that down there in the comments section. This Saturday at 12 noon Eastern, I am going to be doing my last intro to mindfulness meditation workshop until June. So what I'm doing is I'm getting people involved. Hello Shop, hello Voodoo, hello Rainbow, hello Lexi. Welcome in. What I'm doing is trying to really make sure that you all understand what mindfulness meditation is, what it's not, the technique, the ins and outs, because what I find is a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what this practice is. They think it's some type of deity worship practice. They think it's something that you use to communicate with the divine or your ancestors or your guardian angels or this, that, and the other. And that is not what this is. People have a lot of misconceptions about it because they listen to media and they don't do their research. They don't read from traditional or academic sources. And many people think that they're engaging in mindfulness meditation, and that's not what they're doing. They're doing something else. June is your birthday month. Is that Gemini? Are you a Gemini, Miss Sandra? Is that Gemini? Let me know. Maybe I'm trying to think off the top of my head. So in the intro to mindfulness meditation workshop this Saturday, I'm going to be diving into the nitty gritty. I'm not going to just be giving you an overview. I'm going to be going into depth on how the practice works and a lot. Okay. She said, yes, Gemini. Ooh, we are on it. I'm an Aries, and Aries and Gemini are astrological friends. A lot of times people think that Aries are Gemini or Geminis are Aries, and I have a lot of Gemini friends. I think that's why we get along so well. We have a lot of common interests, Miss Sandra. One of the main misconceptions that people have about mindfulness meditation, they hear that, oh, you're supposed to be able to sit down and immediately clear your mind. They think this practice is, sitting down and clearing your mind. That happens at a very advanced level of the practice, and it is my goal to help you get there. If that's what you want to learn how to do, I want to make sure that you learn how to do that. Okay. But we have to start at the beginning. We have to start at the beginning and the foundations, because if you don't have the foundations down, when you try to jump into the deep end, you just drown. You don't get anywhere. So we have to learn how to, build our way up. So it is my hopes that you all will be joining me this Saturday for the free Zoom Intro to Mindfulness Meditation workshop. If you would like to join me, the registration is in my bio. Okay. Thank you. Hello, Queen. Welcome. I have just, let me see. I think I have one more housekeeping item left. Just trying to think. Yeah, I think just one more. I did do my website update. This is my last housekeeping item. I did do my website update over the weekend. And so you all know that I always try to do some type of deal. So the deal was any order over $50, you would get a free spray bottle of Florida water. Now that already ended, but I still wanted to just do a little show and tell, because I used to do this a lot and I find that I don't do it as much anymore. But I just want to show you all, just like you're seeing this Vivianite piece right here that I made. Vivianite is one of my crystals for myself this year. My metaphysical shop is full of handmade crystal jewelry. One of my favorite ones is this gold stone necklace, hand weaving. Gold stone is actually glass with copper in it, but just want to bring some things for show and tell. I also hand make crystal incense. So I have incense that are coated in crystals. This is the amber vanilla honey incense, and I wish that, let me see if I can get it to focus. Probably not going to. These are coated in crushed citrine and 24 karat gold. All of my incense are hand rolled on lavender stems. These are actually my favorite incense in the shop, and I have a few different varieties. And I also have handmade Florida waters. My Florida waters are small batch, and they got a new upgrade. New bottles. We love new. And this is the Tropical Creativity Florida water. It is coconut, dragon fruit, pineapple, I think coconut, pineapple, dragon fruit, Tahitian vanilla, rare black frankincense. I have a lot of ingredients. I should have wrote them all down, but I didn't. And this is the Luxe. The Luxe is Tahitian vanilla, dark amber, rare black frankincense, almond benzoin, sunflower, chamomile. Explain Florida water. Florida water is a type of product for spiritual cleansing. Now, a lot of people use it in different ways. You will find it heavily used in the Latino and in the Black community. So if you ever go to like Black spiritual shops or the botanicas, you will often find it there. So people use it as a spray. The name is actually a spiritual cologne. Florida water is a type of spiritual cologne, but most people just know the variety Florida water. Florida water is like the specific scent. I like to use it to wash my doors and to wash my floors. When you're doing like a deep cleanse for your house, and then you're also going to do things like saging or smudging or using Palo Santo. And that's another thing that I use the incense for, because of all of the wonderful ingredients. The incense are made with high quality resins like frankincense, myrrh, benzoin. So all of those things that you typically use to sage with or to smudge with. But Florida water, it is not something that you drink. That's a question that I get often. It's something that you use for what you could call spiritual cleansing. So you can think of it as an all-purpose thing. Some people put it in their bath water when they take like a spiritual bath or a cleansing bath. Some people, once again, they spray it on their body. I like to put some in my mop water when I mop my floors to cleanse my home of the energy But they smell absolutely wonderful. And I just want to do quickly a little show and tell to let you all know what I have going on. So if you're looking for handmade crystal jewelry, I have tons of rings, necklaces, bracelets. If you're looking for incense, if you're looking for Florida waters, make sure to check out HIYERAlignment.com. You can tap the link in my bio. You can go directly to HIYERAlignment.com, or even on my profile, I think there's a button that says like shop, and it'll take you directly to my shop. Okay. But that's all that I have for you regarding housekeeping. If you are ready to roll and talk about mindfulness meditation, go ahead and drop me the number 8 in the comments section. That's going to let me know that you are ready to roll, that you have your pens, your papers, your notebooks, your tablets, your recording devices, whatever it is that you need. You are ready to learn about the 2 obstacles that people commonly encounter when trying to enter a meditative state. I wanted to talk about this tonight as a precursor to the intro to mindfulness meditation workshop that I'm giving this weekend on Saturday, free through Zoom. So once again, go ahead and tap the link in my bio and register for that thing so I can see you in there. Okay, I'm seeing those 8s. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If this is your first time here, allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Aaron. I'm a certified metaphysical life coach. Yes, certified. I have multiple certifications in what I do. I have a certification in professional life coaching from the Transformational Academy. I have a certification in adult learning methodologies and instructional design from the University of Illinois. I have my certification in yoga nidra teaching. You all know that I love to talk about yoga nidra as well. I'm also working on my certification in pranayama. But I'm here to give you the tips, tools, and techniques that you can use in order to create a life of well-being and to help you transform your life and to introduce you to these metaphysical techniques that you can specifically use for self-care and personal development. Now, once again, I have been talking about mindfulness meditation for quite a while, trying to introduce this technique and this tool to people to make you more knowledgeable about what it is, so that if you're interested, you can actually dive deep. I want you to be able to sit down and do your thing. A question that I got the other day on one of my YouTube videos was, is there an app that can help you practice this technique, to practice mindfulness meditation? And I'm sure there are. But the whole point is for you to be able to sit down and do what you need to do without any extras. Okay, without any extras. You don't need any technology. You don't need an app. You don't need your phone. And a lot of times when people try to do those types of things, it is to take a shortcut, and the shortcuts don't always get you where you want to go. You don't actually learn the skill and are able to integrate it into your life. What if you want to go sit beside a stream sometime, or go into the woods, or you want to just go outside in your backyard or on your patio or whatever and sit down and meditate and just be with yourself and be in nature and be in the present moment? The last thing you want to do is be relying on technology, because that means you don't know what you're doing. And I want to make sure that you know what you're doing. So just a quick review of what mindfulness meditation is. This is an attentional training technique. Okay, mindfulness meditation is an attentional training technique. Once again, some people think that it's like a spiritual thing or a religious thing. It can be used for that if you want to, but that's not really what it is. Some people think it's to communicate with the divine, or to communicate with their ancestors, or to, whatever. People have a lot of personal beliefs and things going on, but you should know at the heart of it, that's not what this is. Mindfulness means to bear something in mind, to remember, to recall, to recollect, to not forget. So what you'll notice is that sometimes people are having a conversation with you, or you may have a conversation with someone, and in the middle of the conversation, your mind trails off and you're no longer present. You're no longer listening, and you hit them with the, huh? Or can you say that again? Or I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. This is the opposite of mindfulness. This is forgetfulness, when you're not able to focus or pay attention. So in mindfulness meditation, what you're learning to do is settle the focus of awareness on one thing. And we call this your object of attention. Many people practice one of the various mindfulness of breathing techniques. And in those techniques, the object of attention is the breath. So you settle the focus of awareness on the breath. And whenever your attention leaves the breath, your objective is to realize that the mind has become distracted by becoming consumed of or absorbed into or obsessing or thinking about something in the past or something about the future, an anxiety, a worry, a memory, emotion, sensation, whatever. Most of the time when that happens, people's mind, they just ride their mind, and then if their mind starts thinking about their to-do list or what so-and-so said to them earlier or this, that, or the other, they're just gone. They don't realize that they're no longer focusing on the object of attention and what they should be focusing on. And then they're off in Lulu La La Land. That's not meditation. That's just thinking. That's the same thing as if you were just to sit down and start thinking about something. Mindfulness meditation is when your mind is focused on that object of attention. So in the beginning, it's called forceful. In the beginning, it's called forceful. You may know this practice as shamatha. That's what I call it. You may know it as jine. These words mean calm, abiding. So in the beginning, as a beginner, you're practicing forceful shamatha or forceful jine. And this means that you're forcefully holding your attention there. And once again, when the mind strays from that object of attention, you forcefully bring it back and hold it there. After a while of practicing like that, the mind becomes less and less prone to distraction, and it's easier for you to settle your mind on that object, and it just remains where it is. At an advanced level, when your mind is completely settled on that object and you have that focus, other stimuli begin to no longer arise within the space of the mind. That's what they mean by clearing your mind. When the mind is so focused on that object of attention that other phenomena, that's what they're called in the traditional literature, in the traditional text. This means a phenomena is anything that you can see, hear, taste, touch, smell, or think about. They no longer appear within the space of the mind. Okay? Drop me a number 8 if you're following me so far. Drop me a number 8 if I'm giving you a quick review, a quick jog down of it. And on Saturday, we're going to go into a lot more depth. But I just want to make sure that you're following me. Drop me a number 8 if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you're smelling what I'm stepping in, if this makes sense. Thank you, Lulu. Thank you, Lula Bella. The reason that I use the number 8 is because if you turn it sideways, it's that infinity sign that you just dropped, and that lets me know we're all on the same page. Got it. Rainbow said 8, preach, King. Thank you. I appreciate it. So you have, in the beginning, that's how it works. Okay. Now, people want to jump to the advanced practices. They want to jump into the deep end. They want to jump from referential shamatha or referential meditation to non-referential and resting in awareness as awareness or merging mind with space practice. And that's all beautiful. But if you don't know the basics, then, it's not going to work. If you're not able to focus on that object, the mind is just going to be ill prepared and it's just not going to work. Like, those advanced practices are not even going to be achievable for you at all. You're a beginner, but the beginner that's exactly where you need to be. And Miss Sandra, if you would like to advance, or if anyone would like to advance, I hope that you all will be joining me for the workshop this weekend. And I'm going to be talking to you about my mindfulness meditation classes that I'll be hosting through Patreon. But I'll get to that at the end because I'll get off track. But make sure to remind me. Just drop the word advanced classes somewhere as I'm starting to wrap things up if you want to hear more about that. But in the beginning, you have two main obstacles, and even throughout your journey, you have two main obstacles that prevent you from entering into complete meditative absorption, into that complete meditative state. If you've been here with me before, we've talked about the first one, excitation. So I want us to think about a spectrum. I'm trying to keep myself in frame. I want us to think about a spectrum. Mindfulness meditation is a tool for attentional balance. So we're trying to be right there in the middle of that thing. Excitation, we're gonna come over here for excitation. This means that the mind flutters from topic to topic to topic. It jumps from thought to thought to thought. If something comes into the space of the mind, I kind of think of it like a dog. Like you hold up a toy and the dog is like, and they're immediately focused on that toy. You hold up another toy and they're like, and you throw the toy and they run after the toy. You throw the stick and they run out. Like wherever that toy or that stick goes, they go. We can also think about this as one of the traditional metaphors is a horse and a blind rider. The blind rider is on the horse, and wherever the horse goes, the blind rider goes. You know, so there is no stability of focus. There's no discipline. There is no ability to be in the present moment and be in control of the mind. That's excitation. You may also know this as monkey mind. So you have different levels, coarse, medium, and subtle, and I'll be going into more depth about those on Saturday. But in the beginning, most people are very familiar with the coarse stage of both of the extremes. So coarse excitation is when you're trying to focus on that object of attention, and there are just so many thoughts coming into the mind, thoughts. They're just rolling. They are rolling like bubbles in a stream, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. The thoughts are coming up uncontrollably. This is coarse excitation, a mind that is just so filled with phenomena that it is impossible for it to stay focused on that object of attention. So at that point, the mind becomes attached onto that phenomena and it just is carried away. Has anyone ever experienced this before? Drop me a number 8 in the comment section if you've ever had this experience. You sit down to meditate. You're supposed to be focusing on your breath or focusing on a sensation or focusing on a mantra or focusing on whatever you're supposed to be focusing on. And instead of focusing on that, you're thinking about what you're going to make for dinner tonight. You're thinking about, you know, what so-and-so said to you earlier. You're thinking about how Susie Q at work pissed you off or how somebody cut you off in traffic. You're thinking about, you know, the kids and their homework and you have to help them with their homework and you didn't get laundry done. You're thinking about your ex-lover or your ex-partner, you know, like this is what's going on. And before you know it, the bell goes off. Let me get my tincture bells. Before you know it, your mindfulness, your meditation bell goes off. And meditation is over and you realize, oh my gosh, I've been sitting here thinking this entire time and I wasn't even focused on my breath. Oh my goodness, I wasn't even focused on my breath. Where was I? What was going on? That's excitation and that's coarse excitation. Queen said, I still can't sit and meditate in the traditional way to meditate. Queen, I hope that I see you this weekend on Saturday for the intro to mindfulness meditation workshop. I'm gonna get you right on together. Just through guided meditation. In the beginning, you may need guided meditations. In my course, in my live classes, I give you the guided meditations and you practice with them for an extended period of time. And then we begin to level you up. So that you can eventually learn those techniques and integrate them. Now, there is a difference between mindfulness meditation and guided meditations, which are like visualizations that you see like on YouTube when they're like, let's do a guided meditation to talk to your inner child, or let's do a guided meditation to find an answer to a problem, or let's do a guided meditation to meet your future self. Those types of guided meditations are not the practice that I'm talking about. Why are those not the type of practice that I'm talking about? Because in those meditations, you're thinking, you are engaging the mind. And that's the opposite of what we're doing in mindfulness meditation. So once again, meditation is a very general term. And when someone says, oh, I meditate, that's very similar to saying, oh, I play sports. That could mean a lot of things. So what we're talking about is mindfulness meditation, or the practice of shamatha, or the practice of jine. I'm going to be at my grandma's, but I'll watch out and see if you are doing it again. The next time I'll be doing this workshop is going to be in June, okay? The next time I'll be doing this workshop is in June, but if you register, you're going to get the Mindfulness Meditation Resources Guide, and it will have the replay in there so you can catch that. So I would still say register, or you can tap the link in my bio and just go ahead and get the resources guide, and it has the replay from last month's practice, from last month's session. But Saturday is the last time that I'm doing this specific workshop, at least until June. After that, in April and May, what I'm going to be going into is talking about systems and routines for self-care and personal development. So I'm going to be switching topics from meditation, and we're going to talk more about goal achievement, how to transform your life using systems and routines, specifically from nature. I'm going to be talking to you about the lunar cycle and the moon cycle and all of that good stuff. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Is excitation clear? Are we clear on excitation, what that means, and how when the mind is excited, has this quality of excitation? If you go along with excitation, then you're no longer meditating, and this is not going to bring you into a meditative state. This is not going to bring you into meditative absorption. This is not going to bring you into meditative equipoise. If that makes sense, let me know. If it does not make sense, go ahead and drop me a question in the comment section so that I may gift you some clarity. Hello, Amanda Black. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just wait. I see Sandra drop me that infinity sign. I'm waiting to get one more response to make sure that everybody is understanding and we are on the same page about excitation. And then I'm going to tell you about the second obstacle to entering a meditative state so that you know what these are. So if they come up in your meditation practice, you know what they are and you know what's going on. It's important for you to be knowledgeable so that you can be targeted when you sit down. You don't want to just be sitting down doing any old thing. Okay, I'm seeing some more responses. Thank you, everybody. So we have meditative equipoise right in the middle. When we hit that thing right in the middle and we're focused on that object of attention, after a period of time, you will enter meditative equipoise. If you're on this end of the spectrum, the far end, then you've engaged in excitation. On this end, though, is something that you will experience after you have been meditating for a while. You may trail all the way to this end. And this end is called laxity. Laxity is also an obstacle because, like in excitation, where you're not focused on the object of attention, and laxity, you're not focused on the object of attention because you're just spaced out. You're spaced out. And that's what we can really think about this as. I think in the past, Miss Sandra brought up that sometimes she gets sleepy, or this may cause you to fall asleep. And that's exactly what that could be as well. Sometimes people think that when they have hit this point that they're actually in meditative absorption because they're like, oh, there's no thoughts coming up in the mind. And when you are listening to popular culture, when you're going off of the TV version of meditation and you hear, oh, you're supposed to be clearing your mind, and then no thoughts come up in the mind, they're like, oh, I've made it. But that's not what it is, because remember, mindfulness meditation, the mind is settled on something. There is something that we're supposed to be doing here. So in laxity, the mind just completely spaces out. And once again, this is not focusing on the object of attention. So you can't be in meditative equipoise. You can't be meditating if you're spaced out, if you're in Lulu La La Land, if you're asleep, you know? So this has the quality, once again, of the word just escaped me. We're just gonna call it kind of like a sleepiness. Your mind is fuzzy. It's the complete opposite of excitation. So in excitation, the mind is jumping from topic to topic. In this one, there are no topics. There's nothing coming up at all. But the mind is not focused on anything at all either. And so that just ain't it. And when the mind is engaging in coarse laxity on that far extreme, you may fall asleep. because the mind is used to being stimulated. And when the mind is stimulated, the body is stimulated. And when you don't have that stimulation, one of the things that the mind will do, as it is not used to that state, is it'll just fall asleep. You'll just fall asleep. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. Meditation has three qualities, three things that we're trying to balance: relaxation, clarity of awareness, and the vividness of awareness, or the continuity of being aware without losing contact with that awareness. But the first thing is that relaxation. So once you get very, very relaxed and you are not balancing with those other two characteristics of the vividness and the clarity, then you may engage in a relaxation that I call the Thanksgiving relaxation, where after a heavy meal on Thanksgiving, you're like, oh, I'm going to go relax. And that means I'm going to go lose consciousness. In mindfulness meditation, you are relaxing deeper and deeper, but you're maintaining clarity and the vividness of awareness with which you began. So you're not trying to lose the clarity of awareness. You're not trying to lose that vividness of awareness, versus when you go to sleep, or when you're like, you've eaten a heavy meal and you're like, oh, I'm going to go relax. You lay down on the couch and you lose the vividness of awareness. You lose the clarity of awareness and you fall unconscious. Okay. So those are your two main obstacles. There are other ones, like another one is not engaging with the practice at all, which is a big thing that people do. They're like, oh, I want to meditate, but I can't find the time to meditate, or, I'm just so busy. Well, clearly, if you're not engaging with the practice, you're not going to get the benefits of the practice. And if you're not engaging consistently with the practice, you're not going to be able to master those foundations and the fundamentals in order to move you to the intermediate and to the advanced level. So there are other obstacles outside of attentional balance that will prevent you from advancing. But the main two that I think that you should be aware of, so that when you do sit down and meditate, now perhaps you'll be aware of them when your mind is starting to flutter. Maybe you'll be aware, like, oh my goodness, I'm no longer focused on my object of attention. This is excitation. And you can release the grasping onto whatever it is that the mind is focused on and return it back to that object of attention. Or if you notice that you're starting to fall asleep, if you notice that the mind is starting to blank out, that you're starting to space out and there are no thoughts that are coming up, but you also notice that you're no longer focused on the object of attention, then ooh, I'm way over here in laxity. I need to either take a break. I need to, in the traditional text, it is referred to as taking deeper interest, developing a deeper interest in that object of attention, and being interested in it, to bring your mind, to add a little excitation in your mind, to bring you back this way and be aware, be a little bit stimulated, so that you can focus on that object of attention without just losing it all. So I hope that this really, really quick workshop has helped you learn about these two different obstacles. Once again, I hope to see you all. I saw the thumbs up too. I don't know where that comes from, and that just started happening maybe a month or two ago. So I don't know what Instagram is doing, or if someone did that. Thank you for the thumbs up though, whether it came from a person or the universe, or wherever it came from. I very much appreciate it. And that's not just a thumbs up for me, it's a thumbs up for you all as well, because you're interested in the practice. You are, taking the steps to further your meditation practice and make sure that you're knowledgeable about what it is that you're doing. So once again, I hope to see you all for the live workshop through Zoom this weekend. It's going to be on Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. This mini workshop will remain up for replay on my page. So once again, if you know someone who's interested in learning mindfulness meditation and beginning or deepening their practice, go ahead and share this video with them. I would really, really appreciate it. But before I head out of here, does anybody have any questions for me? I'm going to give it just a few moments to see if anybody has any questions for me about anything that we have gone over this evening. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I hope that you all have found this educational and interesting, and it's giving you some motivation and some clarity in your own meditation practice. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. Maybe someone's typing a question, maybe not. But just want to make sure that I don't leave too early. Once again, I want to make sure that if you have come to any of my lives, that you get exactly what you need. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm going to just assume that no one has any questions. I am going to go ahead and sign it off here. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to be back next Thursday. When I'm back next Thursday, I'm not going to be talking about meditation. Now, moving forward, I'm still going to be helping people with meditation. Do you have private? Yes, I like private lessons or private classes or one-on-one sessions. All of those are it's a yes to all of those. But I'm just not sure what you mean. So I'm going to just ramble and wait for the clarity of your question to come through. I do offer one-on-one sessions. Yes, one-on-one lessons. I do. So anyone who's ever interested in working with me one-on-one, all you have to do is tap the link in my bio, and right there at the top it says book a free 20-minute discovery call. So we'll get on Zoom. We will talk about what it is that you need assistance with, whether it is meditation, whether it is achieving your goals or transforming your life. Honestly, most of my clients right now are working on businesses, working on developing their social media business. I work with a lady on here named Taria, and you'll see me post about her tomorrow, posting a review she sent me. And she is a fashion designer and a dancer, and she is making money here on social media. We have been working on her social media content plan and all of that good stuff. I work with people on improving their relationships with themselves or their family members or their loved ones. But I will help you with whatever it is that you need. That is my duty and my responsibility as a life coach. But if you're someone who's interested in practicing meditation and you want to dive in deeper, I can most certainly help you with that. I also do group private sessions for mindfulness meditation, which is what is after the intro workshop, and that's through my Patreon. And for that, it's only $5 a month. So if you go to my Patreon, tier 1 is $5, and it gets you access to the mindfulness meditation classes. The intro class that I'm doing on Saturday really is the gateway of learning about the practice to make sure that you have all of the basics down. You wanted us to remind you of something. That's this. Let me talk about this. It's like it's all coming together perfectly. So the intro class that I'm doing this Saturday, it's going to be about an hour and a half, and I do it for free because I want to make sure that everyone who wants to dive deeper, that you understand at least the basics. I want you to understand at least the basics, because when we go into lessons, I don't play and I get you those results. If you want to learn how to meditate at an intermediate or advanced level, I'm not going to play around with it. I want to make sure that you get where you're going. So once again, in order for that to happen, you need to understand the foundations and the basics. And I cover that all in one swoop. We get it all together. Okay. Then if you decide that you would like to join, once again, it's $5 a month. I do that. So it's very, very affordable. It's very inexpensive. So we will have one live class per month. So last month we did the practice of settling body, speech, and mind in their natural states. That's a preliminary practice. So I gave that workshop live. If you do decide to join, that workshop is already available for replay inside of Patreon in the Mindfulness Meditation series. And then you have the actual guided practice, which is what Queen talked about, guided practices. So each time we have a live session, I create a guided practice that we will also practice in session, and then you will practice with that guided practice on your own for 3 to 4 weeks to make sure that you have that technique down. Then we will have another live class, and that class will teach you the next bump up, the next technique up. And we'll do the same thing. I'll give you the class, I'll talk to you about it, I'll teach you about it, we will actually engage in that technique, and then you will use the guided practice to practice that technique. And we're going to be leveling it up all the way, and I'm going to take you as far as you want to go. So if you want to stick with mindfulness of breathing, I'm going to teach you 4 or 5 different methods for mindfulness of breathing. Then we're going to slowly go into intermediate stages of meditation, and then we're going to go into advanced stages of meditation. So that is how the group practices work. So that's hopefully the answer to your question. Was there something else? I think that was it. I think that's everything that I saw. Thank you everyone who is just now joining. I'm actually about to end, but the replay will be up. So if you want to learn about mindfulness meditation and the 2 obstacles to entering meditative balance or entering into a meditative state, then make sure you go ahead and watch that replay. If you all have any questions for me, you can leave them below this video once I upload it, or you can hop into my DMs. I try to be as helpful and as responsive as I can. Thank you all for joining me this evening, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day.